welcome back. This is my oil transfer pump I've made using a gear pump, and it works amazing. So I've been in doing field service as a mechanic for about 2 years now, and when I started I was given this hand pump to use to put oils in and a funnel, and with like 85 140, putting it in a excavator, slew, or just engine oil and just all the oils. It's I was finding it really annoying using just a hand pump. So I mean, this is the type of flow you get. So each hand pump is roughly about 100 mils, and you go thicker oils, well then it's a lot harder to pump and takes a long time. So I after about 2 weeks in the job, I started coming up with this pump. So I had this, I saved it from the bin a few years ago, and it had a broken shaft, or broken end of the shaft, and I tried a few different methods to come up with a usable thing, but I ended up pulling it apart and welding the shaft up, and then machining a hex so that the drill, or cordless drill, would then fit on. And this worked. This worked okay for about 10 months. I was using it, and it had its issues, just annoying things with it, but it was so much better than this. So yeah, this was a massive improvement. And just the annoying little bits, annoying things with this, I've solved with this one. So instead of it's now fully supported on top of the drums. I'm mostly using these plastic drums, and at least it is now supported. So it's got locations on the actual gear pump, and I've only just recently printed this 3D printed dust cover, and that just helps maintain. And it's not threaded, it's just a neat fit over the thread, and I think it's going to work great. So I was just putting a rag around here to keep, if I was leaving it in the drum while before I do the final top up. But yeah, the beauty with the gear pump is that there's only 2 gears in there. So here's so I mean, just spins and oil goes running outside to there. So there's no valves, and the beauty with it is that you can leave it connected. Say you're putting engine oil in, you can leave it connected and run the engine, and nothing's going to go back to the drum, because unless the gears are moving, it's going to hold back the oil. And I've made everything, it's all suction hoses, so nothing's going to get sucked in. And I've got quick connect cam joiners on everything. So I've got the old one, I was constantly undoing clamps, changing my hoses and putting hoses in, side hoses, and clamping it up. So I've done away with all of that. So I got it because it was damaged. The splines get chewed out. So I didn't want to weld on it like the last one I did, because then I wanted it hard, so it wasn't going to wear. So I've ID ground it, and then I've heat shrunk just this, I think it's a 3/8 deck screw driver, And yeah, just put that on there, and the drill fits nicely on there. So this drum is empty, and yet it still supports the pump and the drill, no worries. And then to get the last bit out of the drum, I can just angle the drum over and suck the last bit. Because I've got the pickup goes to one side, and because the drum it's got a loose, it works perfect. And like you can even, it's that stable in there. So I mean, I've used machinery to make this, but I mean, you could basically just weld a nut on, weld a bolt on, and just have it driving from the drill. You don't need to do anything elaborate like what I've kind of done. But yeah, I've been very impressed with it. This pump, so I've I think since about 6 months I've been using this pump, and it has been amazing. So this I've pumped engine oil through the drain of a machine, and it will put 20 litres in 45 seconds. So I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, and the beauty of it is that you've got a bit of pressure to play with as well. The limiting factor is that the cordless drill, but it can still maintain about 20 psi with half decent flow with restrictions. So technically you could have crazy head height and still be able to move the oil. And the good thing is that if you put too much, you can just suck it back out. So this, I've used all oils from 85 140 to ATF, or I've even used pump diesel with it before. So all of those oils are fine. With 85 140, because it's so thick, the drill, I have to put it into the low range. Everything, all the other oils on the high speed, and it is fine. So I've got the ratio, I've managed to accidentally find the sweet spot, because if it's trying to move too much oil, it's going to put too much load on the drill. So I was lucky that I had to minimize a bit of friction in there by lapping the I don't know what you call it, the side plates on the gears, and just eliminate a bit of friction and it would have, if you would lose a bit of probably wouldn't be as sealed up if you were trying to get, if you had it in a system where it was where you had restriction and it was building pressure. As you can see with the tap restricting it, so that's putting the pump under load, and you can still pass a lot of oil. So this is with the tap partially open, loading up the pump, and you can still, I might restrict it a bit more. 58 psi. Oh, 74 psi. So this is how everything gets packed up. The pump joins onto itself, so it's then sealed so it doesn't leak. And the hoses, I just put a rag on the opened ends to keep dust out. They're in the truck under basically dust-free environment, but yeah, and the pump gets brake cleaned before I use it and wiped down. And when I connect on the new hoses, whatever new oil I'm using, I purge the lines with it, so there's fresh oil each time, and it only gets used for clean oil.